Okay, we're going to sit down up here, and my vote was for us to stand up individually and share from a mic, but I got voted out. So we're going to sit up here, and if you'll notice, Sarah just did a quick phone booth change. Sarah went on this journey with us as well. I want to really begin our time. Well, first of all, I just want to say, man, thanks, guys. You guys did awesome. Don't you guys think so? And hey, they did it, so you guys can do it too, right? All right. I didn't realize how scary this was until I had children. Doing youth ministry with other children from other people, I was like, you're talking. And then I had my girls, and I think I'm the only one that likes, well, maybe not likes, but I think I'm the only one that actually speaks in front of people. So it's always just been a thing that I do, and they don't like to do it at all. But I'm so thankful for this youth ministry where they get to do this. And so Natalie's going to speak for this team, as well as everybody else. And then Corey and Lane will speak next week for Mexico, which I'm really excited about. Because if you came last year, and Corey spoke like 3 words. So hopefully she'll speak at least 5 next week. I want to share a few things just to piggyback a little bit on what Travis opened up with. Because this is an intentional process, and it's not something that we just decided to do one day. These are actually our policies for the mission committee. So I want to read to you a little bit about our church's strategy when it comes to missions. This is what our strategy is. As a church, CMPC seeks to be a catalyst to assist, encourage, facilitate, and support planting Reformed, reproducing churches with indigenous leadership in key areas around the world for the glory of God. CMPC also seeks to be a catalyst to assist, encourage, facilitate, and support CMPCers who are called by God into full-time ministry, including those who are called as church planters, campus workers, and as cross-cultural missionaries. And to accomplish this, we do several things, but mainly all of our missionary support, our short-term journeys, and other missions-related activities support and develop full-time workers from CMPC whose ministry falls under the scope of CMPC's mission strategy. If you're ever interested in what we want to see happen in this church in terms of missions, I would love to talk to you. I'd love to share this with you. I would love to share with you all about the strategy, and this is really a part of it. Beginning in 6th grade, sending them to the mission camp. Several of these students started with the mission camp, which is really just an introduction to missions. And then the next group, after they grow a little bit, they went to Bridgemont in Tennessee, and you just heard their report. They grow a little bit more. Connecticut this year, they grow a little bit more. Bulgaria, you're going to hear from the team that went to Bulgaria in 2 weeks. So this is an intentional process where we are unapologetic about what we do in raising up missionaries. If you come on August the 25th, you're going to hear from Brian and Megan Moore, who went through this same process. And it's not something that we do, but it's something that God does through the power of His Holy Spirit, working as a covenant church, trying to raise up those who would go to the nations. Why this particular journey? Well, Curran and Abby Bishop, who are Bob and Chris Bishop's son and daughter-in-law, and their family are planting a Reformed church in Milford, Connecticut. Now, it's been interesting to hear from you all when we decided we were going to take this journey about the number of people that used to live in Milford, Connecticut. I did not realize there were so many people in this congregation that were from Connecticut. But they're up there planting a church in what seems to be a really, really difficult area. And if you've lived there, you know what they're going through. For the past few years, their church, they did this specific week for 2 years without us. Curran has been asking us to send a team to help him for about 3 years now. And we finally got an opportunity to go help them during this week. So that's why we took this team. That's why we went to this place, and now they're going to tell you a little bit about our journey. One of the things that we do at the end of each night is to give our one-word summary of the day. So my one-word summary of the whole trip was partnership, because we get to partner together as a covenant church to raise up missionaries, and we get to partner with someone who grew up in this church and who's planting a church in Milford, Connecticut.
Thanks, Dee. You'll see here on well, he skipped my slide, I think. Impact Week, yeah. So the week that we called it Impact Week, or Christ Church. Abby and Curran referred to it as Impact Week. I'll tell you a little bit about kind of what we did throughout the week, just in summary. And I am Brian Cox, by the way, and I tell you, I'm a leader because I know I probably look the same age as they do. And I don't want you to get confused on that. So Impact Week. All right, next slide. So my word, it'll show in a second, is meaningful. It was a really meaningful week. It was, I think some of the others have used impactful before, which is maybe where it gets its name. It was really meaningful for me to see how God worked through us to provide meaning in some of the service projects and the things that we did throughout the week. It was we served, we worked really hard. I think there was a misconception that we were off from Georgia, headed north to beat the Georgia heat and have New England to cool us off. It was over 90 degrees, I think, every day we were there in Connecticut. So a lot of the projects were outside, and everybody worked really hard serving. We used an acronym, BLESS. That was you've probably heard that before around here, and it was used in the months leading up to our trip, as well as while we were there. But we began everything with prayer. We listened to each other. We ate together. We served together. And then when the time was right, we told our story. And we began by telling our testimony and our story to each other before we left. So it gave us a structure to go by. And as Dee mentioned, we had devotion each night at the Curran's house, and it was a great time together. The Impact Week, kind of how the schedule laid out, the mornings were service. So we did our service projects in the morning through lunch, and then early afternoon we broke so that we could be ready for kids camp. So that was something that the church put on. Local kids from the church all came. I don't know if they referred to it as VBS. It looked very much like that. And it was a great time. The kids had fun. You'll see it in the video that we'll show of all the activities and things that happened there. So just to bring up another item of Scripture, Acts 2 tells us about believers in the early church and how they devoted themselves to the teaching of the apostles, how they ate together, went to the temple together, they prayed together, and they served together. And that was the picture that we tried to create. And I think the week went really well, and that was a good description of how we all worked together and served together. And I will conclude just reading you the last two verses of Acts 2. And it says, "And day by day, continuing steadfastly with one accord in the temple and breaking bread at home, they took their food with gladness and singleness of heart, praising God and having favor with all the people. And the Lord added to them day by day those that were saved."
So my name's Olivia, and my one word was refreshing. And I chose this word because before I left for the trip, I was, had been going through some hard things that kind of distracted me. And it was hard for me to kind of focus on God and everything, and I felt kind of distant. So going on the trip and being with the community and serving the community was very refreshing, and it felt just, kind of like I'd gotten back, in touch with God, and it was very refreshing. So yeah, and one of the things that we did, me and Heidi actually, we went to a guy's house. I am not even gonna try to pronounce his name, but he was Muslim, and he had a very tiny apartment, and it was very hot. It was very hot because he wasn't allowed to have AC where he was. He didn't have enough money for it, and the building wouldn't allow him to have AC, so he had a tiny fan, just one fan, and he had in the same room, it was a kitchen, his bedroom, the living room, and the dining room, all in about the size of that corner back there. He smoked a lot, so there was a lot of nicotine dripping from the walls because of how much he smoked. So we cleaned all that off, and we cleaned his kitchen for him, and we sat down, and he made us breakfast. And so we ate with him, and spent a little bit of time with him. So that's what I did.
My name is Steven. On the last day of all of the service projects, me, Heidi, and Natalie went to Dave's house, which was one of the members at the church plant, and our job was to paint his back deck. The only thing is we didn't really know how to paint. Then with that, we knew about painting, we started, and halfway through, Dave comes out and informs us that we painted it the wrong color. Then we had to start all over, and we rushed to finish it because we were running out of time. Once it was finished, it was very sloppy, and you could tell we didn't know how to paint. But luckily, Brian knew how to fix it because he knew how to paint. The word I chose to summarize the week was growing. I chose this word because I felt by doing all the service projects and helping out with the kids' camp helped grow the church plant. I also chose growing because I felt I grew in my relationship with Christ during the trip, from learning about all the missionaries and the lessons at night and seeing how much they gave up to be a missionary and live for God. I also grew from memorizing Philippians 2, 1-15.
My name is Natalie, and my one word from our trip is accomplished. I felt accomplished after memorizing Philippians 2, 1-15. In Connecticut, we would go over these verses every night during our team devotions. Everybody took a turn, and we would go around in a circle. The first night, when we all said what we knew from the verses, it took us around an hour, but on the last day, it took about 30 minutes. It took so long in the beginning because as our trip went on, we would try to memorize Philippians 2, 1-15 every day, and we got faster and faster, saying it to each other each night. If it was encouraging to see Abby and Kurt's family join learning the verses with us after the first meeting, I also felt accomplished because you could see the joy of the people we were serving. That felt accomplishing because we were serving, and it was very delightful when you see the finishing products of what you have done and knowing that the people you serve can have more happiness. Jesus said it's more blessed to give than to receive. I think what God taught me most in Connecticut is about grumbling. God taught me a lot about grumbling as we memorized Philippians 2, 1-15 during our time there. The verses that really stood out to me about grumbling were 14-15, when it says, "Do all things without grumbling or disputing, that you may be blameless and innocent children of God, without blemish in the midst of a crooked and twisted generation, among whom you shine as lights in the world." I kept remembering these verses during our work projects. By the end of the week, after picking weeds every day, I felt like grumbling, and I would remind myself of this verse because God wants us to serve him no matter what we do without grumbling. I think I really learned that when you serve, it isn't for your own accomplishment, but for God's accomplishment. I know everyone here was praying for us while we were gone and supporting financially, and I'm so thankful. Thank you for all supporting us, because without y'all, we would not have been able to do what we did in Connecticut.
My name is Ben Phelps, and my word was serving. And so one of the days we went to go move this guy, his name was Phil, and Phil just needed a lot of help because Phil's movers, they couldn't move any of his stuff because of little technicalities and just stuff like that. And we went to go move him, and his house just had like a whole bunch of stuff, and we knew we weren't gonna be able to move everything, but we still moved as much as we could. And I just felt that while we were working, God gave me and everyone working a servant's heart, because even though we knew we weren't gonna get everything done, we still did as much as we could. And Phil was just very thankful. And just throughout the trip, not just that project, but just many other projects, just God gave everyone a servant's heart, because even though it was hot and uncomfortable and just sometimes you didn't feel like being there, God gave us that mindset to serve people. And even with even when there was nothing else in return, and I just feel like God worked really well throughout all of us.
Hi, I'm Heidi, and my word was impactful. So one of the projects I'll be speaking about was a project involving a lady named Casey who had been battling cancer the past few years. So she was about to move, so we helped her finish up cleaning her house. As we worked to clean her house, I could see that she was weak and couldn't do it on her own, but was very thankful for our work. Even though it was just some cleaning, I could see that it was more to her, and I felt that we did leave an impact on her life, even with a small project. Throughout the week, I engaged in multiple service projects, and each one felt that we were not just doing busy work, we were genuinely leaving an impact. Whether it was painting, yard work, or just engaging in conversation, every task felt meaningful. The smiles we received and the heartfelt thank yous were not just expressions of gratitude, but also affirmations of the connections we made and the support we provided. This experience taught me that service is more than just completing a checklist, but it is also about impacting the people you help. I had some experiences that really opened my eyes and helped me be more thankful for the things I have and the circumstances I live in. My hope was that we truly did leave an impact. God was really working through me and showing me how impactful it can be to step out of ourselves and serve others. As I reflect on this experience, I'm filled with gratitude. God worked in me, transforming my perspective on service and community. So after this experience, I encourage each of you to seek opportunity to serve others, even if it's small. You never know how God will work in you and the people you're helping. And I also just want to say thank you for all the support and prayers.
Testing. Okay. I am the second Stephen. My word I chose is content. But before I get to that, I wanted to just thank all of y'all for the prayers and for the financial support. That you can't just get a team together and send them to another state to do missions. That you need money, you need prayer. So you all are just as important to these missions as the actual people going there. Just want to say that. Anyways, the reason I chose the word content is because for pretty much all of the service projects we had, I think we did more. We either did all that we planned to do, or we did more than we planned to do. So at the end of pretty much all the service projects we went to, I felt content that we were able to leave an impact, and we were able to do the work that we set out to do. And I have a verse that will connect to that. Ephesians 2:10. For we are his handiwork, created in Christ Jesus for good works, which God prepared beforehand, that we should walk in them. And that's just to say that God is the one that provides these opportunities, that they don't just come out of nowhere. This opportunity to go down and help this small church plant that we are connected to, that God is the one that has made these works possible for us, and it's our duty to work them out for his glory. It's not just going across the state. Those are not just good works that you can do. It could just be saying good morning to someone. It could be going out of your way to help someone with weeding, or maybe like a neighbor that has gone on vacation, going to get their mail while they're gone. Works are not these huge, life-changing things. They can be the small things as well.
Hi, my name is Grace Cox, and My word was grateful. I chose this word because I'm really grateful for the opportunity God gave us to help out the New Haven community and impact their lives. I'm also grateful for the privileges that we have here, where many people do know the Bible or at least have heard it. I'm also grateful for all the support through finance and prayers that we got from here, because they were really important to our missions. I'm going to be talking about the Saturday that we were in Connecticut. A couple people from Christ Presbyterian Church, which is Kern and Abby's church, Pastor D and I went to help out with CBC's mother church with their VBS. It was in an inner city neighborhood called The Hill, where 24% of people live below the poverty line and 65% of families have only single parents, so it wasn't like a great area. The kids there weren't, the kids who showed up to the VBS weren't all, or most of them were not from Christian homes and didn't regularly attend their church. They just came for their own reasons. Some of them didn't even speak English, so when we got there, we played with the kids and got to know them a little bit, and then got them settled down and read a kid's book and a Bible story to them. After we spent, after we did that, we sent half of them to go play games with the two helpers from CPC while we worked with them on crafts. The fact that the crafts we were making were made out of tissue paper and it was really windy outside made things a little bit chaotic, but we figured it out, and I think the kids learned a lot and had a lot of fun. God really worked through this opportunity that we got, and we got a chance to witness to kids who may never have heard the word before or understood it, so I'm really grateful for that opportunity.
I'm Sarah, and my word for the week was encouraging. And I chose that word because when I was very encouraged, just to see Kern and Abby and the work they've done and how they love their congregation and their community, and also very encouraged by our team, just working with the youth and getting to see them in action and getting to see them serving this community in this town, in a state, in an area we've never been to before. And they just jumped right in. They loved everyone that they met. They were just so encouraging. It was just very special for me to get to see them. Also, I wanted to talk about how it was just such a blessing to work with the Bishop family. And it's like you hear how they're doing and you get updates, but then to see it for yourself and to see them just loving everyone around them and how they're so intentional and so purposeful in everything that they do. And again, it was so encouraging and a blessing. And it's a family that lives and breathes ministry. Everything they do is intentional for the glory of God and to point others to Christ. And that was just very impactful and very encouraging to see. I wanted to share some specific requests. I asked Kern and Abby what we can be praying for them as a church body. So their request is Kern and their 12-year-old son, Hudson, are going to be spending the week with a bunch of community contacts at the Boy Scout camp. And I just wanted to add that during the time that we spent with the kids camp, a lot of those kids were from the boys' Boy Scout troop. And so a lot of those kids were just community contacts that don't have a church. A lot of them don't know the Lord, but they invited them into their church, and we did, it's like a VBS, we called it Kids Camp. And so, and of course, their prayers are to make more contacts and more connections so they can share the gospel this week when they spend the week with the Boy Scouts. Also, they asked for prayer in general. At fall kickoff in September, they're going to be launching a new year of children's Sunday school. So men and women's Bible studies, and they want to invite a lot of community contacts to worship with them. And so they're asking for prayer for people to be responsive to the invitations, and for God to add new families to the congregation. And like I said, they are so intentional with everyone they meet, with their neighbors, with everyone. And so they are there to serve and point people to Christ. And again, it was just such a blessing and encouragement to spend the week with them and also with our amazing youth and serving.
So pretty. What have we been doing? Yeah. Was it fun? Eyes on the road, sir. They're over there doing some stuff. What's on the menu tonight?
Stop breaking things.
You're the best. Yeah. So cute. Did you find a baby?
My baby.
Hi, Evan. Hi. Can I have a high five? Thank you.
They're going to travel to France in groups of 2.
Oh, no.
France.
He's kind of sensitive.
Bum, ba-bum, bum, bum.
That's beautiful. What you doing, Natalie?
If someone was fun, they're gonna beat me, so if I do.
No matter who you tag.
I'm actually. 11. Okay.
You all excited? Yeah. Are you excited? Yeah. Are y'all excited for kids camp? Sure. Are you excited?
Yes.
All right. Are y'all excited for kids camp?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Awesome. Hey guys. Hi. What are we doing? Everyone's memorizing the verse. Yeah? What verse are you on? 12. 12?
Philippians 2, 1 through 50. So if there's any encouragement,
Hey guys, did you all have fun today?
Yeah.
Yeah? How much fun?
A lot of fun.
A lot of fun? I'm so glad. I had so much fun. 900? That's a lot of fun.
How old are you, Zane?
5.
I love your torches, guys. Thank you, guys.
Good job. Oh. There you hold it.
yeah, that's later doing it. We're going to do that.
I want to read our passage from Romans 12, verse 13.
We're in the clouds.
Natalie, say bye to the vlog.
All right, we are so thankful for Grace creating a video blog for us. So thank you, Grace. Grace put that together for us. Yeah, thank you.